Hello everyone and welcome to Orange University. On tonight's episode, the Cascade Quest. So I finally bit the bullet and I went ahead and I made this deck. It's been tearing up in the metagame, so I really wanted to try out myself. This is the good old Cascade combo that basically you cast a Cascade spell and then you Cascade into a card that costs less technically, but actually is way better than the card you cast to Cascade with. So here is the new trick. Doesn't actually use the Cascade keyword, but it's kind of the same effect, where you cast Invasion of Alara, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you exile cards from the top of your library until you exile 2 non-land cards with mana value 4 or less. Choose one to cast for free, and the other one put in your hand. So basically, you reveal until you reveal 2 4-drops or less, and then free cast one of those two. And basically, you want to free cast the Bramble Familiar, but not the Bramble Familiar, the Fetch Quest. So the Fetch Quest is actually a 7-drop sorcery that you get to cast because the Bramble Familiar is a 2-drop. So that lets you mill 7, then put a creature, enchantment, or land card from among the mill cards onto the battlefield. Yeah, exactly, right? Invasion of Alara into Bramble Familiar to get the free card that now can be any card, any creature, enchantment, or land from the top 7 of your deck. So what are some good cards? Well, Atraxa is a good card. We got the her Migration for Domain. We got Virtue of Pestilence. We got Phyrexian Fleshgorger. We got a little bit of a counterspell in Mirrorshell Crab. We got the actual good card, the Cemetery Desecrator. So the idea you actually want to do in this deck is you free cast the Cemetery Desecrator, exile 7-drop from your graveyard, maybe your Phyrexian Fleshgorger or her Migration, and basically when you exile a card with mana value X, you get to remove X counter from target permanent. X counters. Invasion of Alara is an X counter. You remove 7, guess what? It immediately flips to Awaken the Maelstrom. Well, target player discards or draws 2 cards. You may put an artifact from your hand onto the battlefield, create a token of a copy permanent you control, distribute 3+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 creatures you control, and destroy target permanent. Not non-land, just any permanent opponent control. Yeah, that's an insane ability that you can get off by casting 1 Invasion of Alara. That's kind of the idea of the deck. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but, you know, I hope it does. And then let's look at the rest of the deck, shall we? Now we have, since Invasion of Alara require you to mill until you get to 4-drops, you don't want to have any 4-drops in your deck. Every card is actually not 4-drop, other than the Bramble Familiar. And 1 copy of Up the Beanstalk. That card should be not banned, but that name should be changed because that sounds kind of dirty. All right, anyways, the Up the Beanstalk. Whenever Up the Beanstalk enters the battlefield, whenever you cast a spell with mana 5 or greater, you draw a card. So already immediately, this card gives you card back, which a lot of these cards don't. A lot of these cards in green don't. This card only costs 2 mana. Remember Garruk's Uprising costs like 3, but this costs 2 mana. And it gives you a card back. So you're never going card negative with this. You're going card even by just casting it. You're losing tempo on the mana, but that's fine because we're not really doing anything early game. Early game, we're just trying to get our mana enough to be able to cast our Invasion of Alara. We also have a Lukka, which is technically a 5-drop. It's not a 4-drop. It's technically a 5-drop Planeswalker, but you can play it for 4 by completing him. And Lukka gets the ability to... I don't think the plus to get mana matters as much unless you're trying to cast things like Cemetery Desecrator or Phyrexian Fleshgorger. I think it just matters a lot more that you can -1 to get 33 beasts to block with, so you don't die that quickly. And of course, we got the removal in Leyline Binding. So Leyline Binding is also not a 6-drop; it's a 2-drop, or 2-drop or a 3-drop, depending on how much domain you have. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, you can make it a 1-drop, and it's an instant speed O-ring. So yeah, that's pretty good. Exile permanent until Leyline Binding leaves. And then the rest of our deck is just kind of cheating cards out. The Cemetery Desecrator, we already talked about what this is for. We got 2 Mirrorshell Crabs. Really, it's just there for the channel ability, where you discard to counter target spell or activated ability. And that's pretty good. You know, your opponent's trying to stop your Invasion of Alara. You can stop their stopping you of Invasion of Alara if you have enough mana. And you'll also put a 7-mana card into the graveyard for your Cemetery Desecrator using that channel ability. It's a little bit of a trick that I think might be relevant. We got Phyrexian Fleshgorger to gain life, Virtue of Pestilence as a 2-drop Lockwing Scorn to as another removal. We got 1 Etali in case we want to play our opponent's deck instead of our own deck. For her Migration to make sure that we hit Invasion of Alara mana whenever we need to, hopefully on turn 5. and then Atraxa for, you know, just that card draw goodness. As a whole deck, we play a lot into our deck. We don't really play with our opponent's deck or against our opponent's deck. So we're a combo deck. We're just trying to combo off and trying to stop our opponent from stopping us from comboing off. And because of that, we have a lot of lands, or we have a lot of high mana cost, so we have a lot of lands, 27 lands. We get one of each color, so obviously, you know, we need to cast Invasion of Alara, we need to be able to get cards out with her migration. So one of each color, one Boseiju in case we need to blow an enchantment or artifact, 4 Land War Waste because a lot of our deck is black or green, right? Black or green. 1 Restless Cottage because I can't fit any more Land War Waste. And I think this card might be a little bit helpful for us to get a 4/4 black creature to get food. Should that be the case, we can also use it to remove our opponent's graveyard slowly. 1 Mirrorshell, that can be our fast mana for 1 turn to get us the fast color mana for 1 turn to get us that 1 missing color that we need. Mirrorshell is also good in the late game to you know, grind out control decks. And then the Triumphs, we got 3 of each Triumph. I'm not really sure how to adjust the Triumph to any other basis, so I just put 3 of each. You can put 4 of each and cut some of these cards, maybe the Land War Waste and the Restless Cottage, if you want to do that. But I wanted the mana base to be a little bit faster in the early game, so that's why there's Land War Waste in the deck. And you definitely cannot cut the basic lands. You need to have 1 of each basic, otherwise her migration is kind of a dead card. So that's the whole deck list, the Cascade Quest. It's very standard in today's metagame. Let's play it and see if it's actually good. Ignore that. That was for the what is that called? Midweek Magic. I always enjoy Midweek Magic. To be fair, I would recommend everyone try it out unless it's Alchemy. I recommend everyone trying it out because you get free cards and the difficulty is not as high as general rank or even free play where everyone's trying hard like me. All right, opponent goes first, of course. We got Bramble Familiar, which we don't want in our opening hand, but we do have 3 lands and 2 her migration, so I think that's a keep. I just hope our opponent's not too fast. I don't actually know, because I would hate our opponent to be like a counterspell deck, because then, oh. See, this is always, like, I'm trying to click high, and then they went to this. Hi. I don't mean to be rude. Oh, they're aggro. Okay, that was not rude. In fact, they're rude. Up your beanstalk. Alright, these both have green, so it does not matter which one I play, but since I have 2 Spire Headquarters, I will play one first. If they play a Feldon here, that'd be pretty good for me. Swiftspear is not great. We're gonna take a lot of damage, that's for sure. But it could be worse. It could be worse. So we're gonna waste it. -3, -3, and we gain 2 life. Oh, there's no black. Well, none of these are black anyways. I wanted to get green out because I thought I needed green, but hey, you know what? It's fine. Up your beanstalk. Evasion attack here. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're gonna die before we get anything off. They're gonna get their dragon. Interesting. Does it even matter if I get a Bramble Familiar out? Just a block? I just want to draw a card. Fine. It's not great, but nothing I have right now is great. Against mono red, even if we went first, right? The only thing I can think of that get us out of this current jam is if we top deck Invasion of Alara. Like, that's about it. We don't actually have a board wipe in this deck because we need to have every card that is just insanely combo centric. Alright, we do have something to tap that out. I guess we'll do that first. Do we have 2 black? We don't have 2 black. Alright. We're actually gonna have to ping ourselves for the her migration. So we might as well her migration first for a white. Right? I think so. Yeah. And Thundermaw, whenever a dragon you control attacks. Gotta put it on his combat face. More Kumano, nice. All the top decks. Well, I want to draw a card, yeah. Hey, Invasion! Alright, let's resolve this. Take out your Thunder Maul. Still can't get it out next turn. Honestly, oh, never mind. Okay, so we have red, black, green, white, blue. Time to invade your ass. Well, I'm gonna cast the fetch quiz. Well. Okay, I didn't get the card I wanted, but I could. Phyrexian Fleshgorger. That's a 7/5. I don't think he can remove that very easily. And I got a discard card. Got a lot of these lands I don't need. He's just coming in for 6 damage. Well, if he has Lightning Strike, I'll just die, right? So this is a lot of life for me. Okay. You realize that was your board too. Oh man, I'm so thrown off by our opponent's plays. They're just so good at Magic. I mean, honestly, like, so good. What do we do? Do we Bramble Familiar him, or do we just Fleshgorger him again? No, I mean, we're at 12. I don't know if I need to Fleshgorger him again. Maybe I just Bramble Familiar. Put this out there. If he attacks, I'll block, you know? Or he'll do that. Just a dragon deck? Huh, interesting. Oh no. Alright, do I even want to draw per migration? I don't. Oh, I want to cycle. He didn't attack me. I don't need that life right now. Alright, what do we do? You already seen this, so watch for this fetch quest. Let me draw a card. Desecrator, interesting. What do we exile? My graveyard, please. Maybe a Virtue. Oh, we do have a Her Migration. Yeah, I tossed one out. Remove X counter on target permanent. That's a permanent. Trying to cast this. Alright, I want to draw 2 cards, please. Target permanent opponent control to destroy. Put an artifact onto the battlefield. Well, that's a Fleshgorger that I get. Come on. There you go. Choose a permanent you control and copy it, right? And let's make the copy a little bit bigger. Now I gotta discard 2 cards. Those lands I don't need. Alright, enjoy Mono Red. We got that Alara at the right time. So yeah, I don't know why you're still in the game. You wanna GG me? Let me GG you. Get out of here. You're solidify. I mean, what are we on? Like middle of September? The fact that you're not in Mythic and play Mono Red probably means you're a bad player. Just kidding. I mean, honestly, if you're playing Mono Red still, it's just, are you having fun with this? Oh, I have opponent rage quit, so I wasn't kidding. He is a bad player. Anyone who rage quits like this is definitely a bad player because they have no interest in playing the game. Because, you know, if you play Magic the Gathering, you will lose at least 50% of the time. You know, if you have a steady over 50% win rate, you'll be like in the finals. But the fact that if you lose any game and you start salting like this, salting, is that a word? I don't know. It's just sad to see, you know, some people who you can play face to face so that they're gonna beat the saltiest player ever. Come on. At least you have a cool doggo. I'll give you that. Look at that. He's so cute. Bark, bark, bark. Bark, bark. I only have a ring. I'm sad. I should change my pet to something that's not a ring. The ring is cool. It is the One Ring. But that whole set was a disappointment. Alright, so you can just listen to me talk while our opponent rage quit the whole turn. In mono red, like, what are you doing? You were trying to play a game fast, and now you're making the game the longest you can ever be just to draw on your own defeat. More content for me. Anyways, so as I was saying, the Lord of the Rings set is horrendous. I will never stop talking about how bad the Lord of the Rings set is just because of how hype it is and how everyone treated it as a success just because it made money. People are going to look back one day when they stop thinking about just money and they'll realize how bad the Lord of the Rings set is. Just, oh, it was god-awful. Oh, they didn't even get the block. Take that. Yeah, that Lord of the Rings set was god-awful. None of the cards that are part of Lord of the Ring are even anything that anyone talks about, you know, other than the One Ring, which, I mean, come on. If no one talks about the One Ring, that everyone who's on that everyone who's on that design team should have been fired. Anyway, I still think they should be fired. But aside from the One Ring, right? You think about, you know, Frodo, Sam, Aragorn. I don't think anyone talks about any card other than the stupid Orc Bowmaster and the other dude, the Enlightened Halfling. That's it. I mean, that's who plays a game like that? That's just awful. Okay, now we're playing against Seed? Is Ed? Is Ed? I say Ed? I don't know. Anyways, we are not going first, but we do have Alara. That's very good. But if our opponent is the rest player, we're going to be pretty sad. And that's just the way it is. Maybe we get to play this game. Who knows? Our opponent definitely is taking a very long time thinking about their mulligan. We're not mulling this hand. We have 3 lands, 2 land getters, so that's exactly enough for Alara. Should we get to turn 5 to do Alara things? Depends on what our opponent's playing. If they're mono red, which I don't think, with Karn, I don't think is a mono red player. I used to have Karn as my avatar. I enjoy Karn in the story. He is someone I relate to. Giant Golem. With no thoughts and feeling. I mean, if you ever wanted to feel sad, just go read the flavor text. Not Karn, but on Beasts of Burden. Basically, it's a replica, or not a replica, but another version of Karn that Urza made as just like a dumb thing. I don't know what I'm doing here. Okay, so I played a green or a black? No. No, I'll play black. I'll also have green next turn, to be fair. I'm more likely to Her Migration than Virtue, because he's not going to play things into my turn. Okay, against this deck, I think we should just concede, because they're full of counterspells, and they're just going to keep counting on Invasion. I don't think they'll ever tap out, so... You got it! Alright, what do we need? Red? We need a red. We need a red and maybe a blue later. Or we can just draw a Xander Lounge and fix all that. I don't think we stand a chance at all against this deck. We're going to get double our Invasion of Alara countered, and then I'll just quit. I think that's how I'm going to plan out this deck. I think, what kind of chance do we have against this? Because, I mean, even in the olden... Oh, God. Even in the olden days, with the Atraxa deck, I still don't think it stands up pretty well. Anywhere near close against a counterspell heavy deck, because it just gets everything it wants to play counter. We're gonna stall for a while, I guess. That's something. We get a green or a white? Let's get a white. We don't have that many white. We have a lot of green, right? We have 2 green. We have 2 white source, 2 red source. How many black source? We have 2 black source as well. Let's get a white. White mana is always appreciated. Let's start getting our virtue counter. No. Fading Hope. That's interesting. That's not what I expect from that deck. But then also did not expect 4 islands in a underground river. Why didn't they bother countering? Well, guess we're about to find out. Did he just have Fading Hopes? They just have Fading Hopes on his own card. That's a second Fading Hope. Well, we did draw like a bunch of Virtue, so we'll see. I mean, do we just keep playing this game? Do we just keep playing this game? He's got 3 cards left. Interesting, huh? If I have 4 mana, I would have 3 mana left for a cycle. Yes. Third Fading Hope? I mean, he definitely has Counterspell in that deck, right? No, he just lets it die. Wow, okay. Harsh. Does not care about his fairy. Guy does not care about his fairy. What would he have? Dissipate? I mean, this is a weird deck. He's got 2 Fading Hope and a Sleep Curse Fairy. Is this mono blue? It looks like it's mono blue or something. Anyways, we cycle. Oh. A lot of cards I don't want to see in my hand. But maybe it's time to get our Invasion of Alara counter. Spell Pierce. Interesting. I mean, it's not like I wasn't going to pay it. You're going to Spell Pierce it again? Spell Stutter? Okay. That's a 2-for-1. We'll take that. We'll take those. How many Spell Pierce can they have? Oh, well, that was all of it. And then they quit. Alright, I was really hesitant on, you know, blue decks, but it seems like they're not very good, or we just had to kind of hold out. But it was good that I didn't play them on turn 5 like I originally thought I was going to do. Just kind of draw their counter spells. They didn't have any. They have a lot of, for some reason, Fading Hope. But hey, I mean, I'm happy with the win, so I shouldn't complain. Now we're playing against the Demonicris? Demony. Alright, we got double Invasion of Alara, which isn't nice, but we do get to go first. So we got 3 dead cards for a while. But hey, you know, if we have Invasion of Alara, I think there's no justification for not playing a turn, playing that hand. I should say, we have Invasion of Alara and 2 lands. There's no justification for not playing that. And then we're 3 lands, so, you know. Esper. Interesting. This gives us a full domain. Okay, mirror. Well, if we're playing the mirror, and I got to go first, I think we all know what's going to happen. Poor opponent is going to be at the mercy of that, unless they have counterspell. Phyrexian Fleshgorger was totally fine. I don't care about that at all. I'll take your 3. Take your 3 all day. Okay, so we have white, green, red, black. We need blue, right? Now, I think the question is, do they have counter spells? I mean, I played this just in case he has counter spells. I don't even think they're gonna counter this. I just wanted to see if there's a reaction. It doesn't seem like there's a reaction. So let's make sure. White, red, or white, black, blue, green, and red. Oh man, you caught me. Did you have a reaction? I swear, if they do have a reaction, I'm so screwed. None of these are that good, to be fair. I was hoping I could get back, get the Cemetery Desecrator, but I guess we're just gonna have to eat that. Alright, we got one Bramble and one in the graveyard, so we might just lose this because of a card draw. So that's not fun. Wow. Okay, so that did not do what I think he did. I thought he was gonna Leyline Bind my Phyrexian Fleshgorger. Oh, he just made a huge mistake. Right? I think he's not expecting this. We did put it on the bottom. Let's see. Well, okay, let's make sure. We have one here, one here, one here. We have one more. So, select, cast one of those. Right? If I select this, select the spell to cast. There's a Desecrator. Okay. What do we exile? Her Migration. Let's remove counters from this Alara. Draw 2 cards. Thank you. Target permanent opponent controls. Okay, he GG's me already. Let's destroy the 7. No. Destroy. I mean, if we leyline it, it's kind of pointless, right? If I destroy the 7. No, let's destroy the 7. The 3 first. Choose a permanent you control to make a copy of. Let me just copy the Cemetery Desecrator. No, let's copy the Phyrexian Fleshgorger. Right, now let's go to combat and we can kill the other Alara. Gain at 10 life. I will draw 2 more cards and destroy a permanent they control. Destroy your land. Spar Headquarter? Okay, I was thinking about which land, alright? Let me think it out. This is very important here. Opponent didn't want to play it out though, which is fair because they definitely are losing. And yeah, they should have killed our Phyrexian Fleshgorger. The fact that they let us have a Fleshgorger means that we can attack, which I was gonna do. Even if I didn't have a second Alara that turn, right? Yeah, even if I didn't have the second Alara, I could have Boseiju there. Phyrexian Fleshgorger. I'll take 7, but then I'll get to blow up. I'll get to attack into my Alara invasion with my full 7/5 invasion of Alara or Phyrexian Fleshgorger, which means that I'll gain that 7 back, and then I get all those effects again. So, not a good play by our opponent, but still, I would say that they are definitely not on the winning side of that game regardless, because we got to go first, and we get to land the invasion on turn 5, and they didn't even land their invasion on their turn 5 because they have a tap land. So, yeah, we were winning in almost every sense of that game, but that was the luck of the draw. There was nothing else to that. Everything was just the luck of the draw, and it happens to be good on our side. I'm happy. I got to win, right? And this is a very, very fun deck. I bet this is going to be top of the metagame. If it hasn't beaten every other deck yet. You saw how it just trounced Mono Red, while Mono Red had almost all the drops. They did. They had turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. They have all the drops, and yet we were still able to stand up to that with our Invasion of Alara. That is how good this combo is. Because turn 5, getting a Cemetery Desecrator to cast Invasion, the backside, the Awaken and Maelstrom, into getting 2 Phyrexian Fleshgorgers in play, oh, that's not fair. That is not a fair matchup game anyone can win. Especially in Standard. Alright, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you guys next time.